Yeah. Happy Thursday, everybody. Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to Change the Lives, hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burden. We got an awesome show planned for you guys tonight. We're going to talk about a subject matter that a lot of parents are going through now, especially those transitional phase, and that's the challenges of raising adult children. The challenges of raising adult children. And I want to give a quick disclaimer. When we talk about this subject matter, it's not necessarily pertaining to what you should or should be doing as far as getting your kids out your house or how you need to be raising your children. It's more so to have that open discussion in regards to parents that may be in a situation where their kids have entered adulthood and they may be still at home and they really don't want them home, or nearing adulthood and they don't necessarily know how to transition them out. You can be in a situation where everybody's cool. You know, I did a video on TikTok. Well, it was on all the different platforms, but most of the responses came on TikTok. What I was asking a lot of parents, like, what are the anxieties that you may have? Because, you know, it just dropped off Chris at college a couple weeks ago.
Right.
And I was mentioning, you know, what are the anxieties that you guys have in regards to dropping your child off at college, you know, as far as preparation. You know, teach about finances, drugs, sex, getting up, going to class. And it was amazing how many parents was just giving their, actually, man, that video was probably had about 2,000 views
Really?
in the past 48 hours.
Okay.
But it was pretty cool because a lot of parents just putting on different things, you know, in regards to, you know, keep God first, you know, take any studies, say, you know, use protection. But there was a couple parents said, I'm glad mine ain't never left.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And we want to have that discussion because, again, the whole point of the show is not to dictate in regards to what you should or shouldn't have done in regards to your children as far as with that, but have that discussion going. Again, we're talking about the challenges of raising adult children, right? Again, this is Changing Lives, hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burden. Right, I'm back in the lab, y'all. Y'all know I've been out in the lab
for about 3 weeks, ain't it? Or two.
Man, I'm back home.
Yeah.
2
weeks.
Two weeks. We're back home in Misfit Studio. Right now, we're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and Twitter. The main hub is the Change the Lives YouTube channel, where we have over 700 videos on the YouTube channel. Best thing to do if you Google Changing Lives, hosted by Deonte Burden, you'll see the little blue man icon pop up. Hit that icon, you'll get some great information covering motivation, parenting, a lot of, you know, professional development. Some will be mixed in with business and everything. We got a lot of great information now. And I give it from a black father perspective, a lot of the information in regards to what I've done from a professional standpoint, and most importantly being a father as well. With, again, the nice subject we're talking about, the challenges of raising adult children. One of the biggest things I was thinking about, you know, I'm, you know, ripe age of 46 right now, and I got 3 children. 3 of my sons out the house now.
Okay.
So and most of my friends are kind of like in that range with me, that 40, they got at least 1 out.
Okay.
And kind of going through similar little transitions in regards to kid getting ready to graduating this year, or just had a graduation come up. And it seems like a lot of people I ran across, they don't have any real transition plans in place. It's like they kind of just, how can I put it? Well, they're going to go to school, they're going to do this, they're going to do that. But it's like, nobody really has a plan.
There's no definitive answers or plans.
In regards to, like, if the child lead a nest or anything like that, it's just like, hey, they're going to go in the army, they're going to maybe go to school or whatever, but it's like no plan. And I'm not saying that you need to have a plan, but I am saying, like, damn, you know, trying to have a compound,
right?
Something like that going,
right.
You know. And everybody's entitled to have different perspectives, but I have heard many of discussions. She don't want to do this, he don't want to do that. He just want to sit in his room and do this, that, and that. And I'm from the school of thought. I try to get mine out of my house a couple weeks after they graduate.
Real quick.
Real quick. Wow. And yeah, you know, damn wild hell. And you know what?
I'm just messing with you.
And I'm gonna tell you something, Lab. I will say this, and you know, if any one of my kids come, you know, P, Chris, or T, any one of them come on, I can honestly say they're ready to get the hell out of my house. You know, when that time came, you know, with doing it. And I didn't, and a lot of people give me flack, well, that's wrong with a lot of parents that try to put the kids out. I I don't believe that. I don't believe in that as far as me trying to put my kids out. We came out from the moment they come out to mama.
Right.
Hey, this is what we transition and try to get to at age 18. It doesn't make my way right, but I raised them to be on that pathway to be wanting to get the hell on when they turn 18. I've heard different perspectives in regards to that. Some people say, well, no, that's too young, but I'll ask the question, what age? Some people say 25, 26, but the question I always go back to, what from 18 to 26 are you going to teach them that you couldn't teach them from 0 to 18?
Right.
And a lot of time, I think because whatever proper planning, poor planning, no planning in place, we're doing it.
Right.
People are pulling hairs, trying to figure out why they didn't or why they hadn't. So now it's more so like protective. Hey, this is where we just gonna have to stay here. I have no problem with any one of my kids transition. With anything like T got graduated from college, stayed a couple months. But if anybody has had a child, or even yourself, or you left the nest and you've been out of the nest for a couple years, and you've got some kind of independence, it's hard to come back home because
You think so?
Yeah, it's hard to come back home if you had some independence.
Okay.
Because you're going to want to move how you want to move, do how you want to do.
Come in when you want to come in.
Yeah, come in when you want to come in. It's their house, parents' house. We're doing it. I mean, even with me, when I first got Army, just, okay, cool, I'm moving this way on my own. Now, if you sit there and say, well, look, I just need a couple months to kind of get back on my feet, that's one thing. But we, just going back, it's challenging. Because if you've been sitting there doing your thing and stuff.
Right, you've been doing your own thing, no rules, no nothing. A lot of people nowadays, I've been hearing, letting your child stay with you for a while because of the economic, not necessarily teaching them anything, but just because of the economic expense of living on your own nowadays.
That's real quick before I run my mouth. Guys, the call-in number is 678-740-9894. I apologize. Feel free to call in and comment on the subject matter we're talking about. Again, we're talking about raising adult children. Again, that's 678-740-9894. 678-740-9894. I mean, that's a fair point with saying that you would, have the kids come out because it's a little rough out there getting started and everything. But shit, that's not that mouth for me to feed. Let me tell you something, bro.
What if they have a job though, like they have a job, they have their own job, but the price of, let's say, a 1-bedroom apartment is $2,500 a month, and they have a job, but they may be making $1,200 every 2 weeks or $1,000 every 2 weeks or something like that. So they can't even afford it because, and this is a regular office job, like they can't even afford it because they don't make enough money just for the rent.
I mean, that's a fair point. I mean, you have more to transition and stuff like that. And, again, if you have more to transition, that could be not just your child. It could be a sibling or, parent or whatever, we're doing it and stuff like that. But I'm talking about more so we're looking at the dynamic of there are a lot of kids living under parents and no kind of transition plan is in place. Like, everybody's just trying to figure out, what you going to do? I'm going to move. Kids tell you that just get you off their back. So what you gonna do? Well, we're gonna I might go into college or I might go to Army. Like, there's been no kind of planning, no kind of thing set up. And then, God forbid, we talking the other damn dynamic. Not only raising adult children, you're raising they damn children too.
You raising grandchildren.
FDB.
You raising grandchildren.
Man, who the hell?
Right.
That's a whole different thing. I would love, I'm cool. Papa, Poochie or whatever. Right. Come over, play, everything good, but shit.
Go home after that.
Hell yeah. So we're gonna talk about all that tonight in regards to the challenge of raising adult children. The call-in number again is 678-740-9894. Again, guys, I got my perspective. Lab has his. Slick has hers. It's not an issue. We're trying to tell you guys what to do or the right way. We just have an open discussion. I feel how I feel. I ain't trying to damn convince anybody.
Right.
Because I moved the way I moved, and I've been moving like that from day one. I don't think that's realistic for me to sit here and tell, someone what to do. I get that question asked me a lot, with my kids, we're going to school, and I'm like, hey man, I've been going over a process for 18 years with them. I don't necessarily know if that's fair to you or your kid, I can give you information, but make some kind of wholesale changes and stuff. I don't necessarily know that's realistic.
That's realistic.
Right.
Right.
Because I can give some ideas to my children that I might have picked up from lab, but we ain't been moving like that. That's kind of hard to pick up. Not saying they can't do it,
Right.
but I think that that's a steep learning curve for all of us. We're doing this, but guys, feel free to call in 678-740-9894. And we start talking about these challenges the parents might face with raising children rather. I got a lot of them.
Yeah.
So, guys, please call in and give me your feedback in regards to if you feel it's cool, it shouldn't, you got a certain age that you feel they should do it or shouldn't, or anything like that you don't think is realistic at all. Please feel free to call in 678-740-9894. Now, we're starting everything off. The very first one I think is probably one that's the most common with a lot of parents. And I seen that every time I drop my children off at college, or even just things they had to do. You see, even when they're in high school, they have college fairs and certain things because a lot of parents want to be present, be on top of it. It's just that it's hard to let go.
Right,
and the first one is just letting go of control. One of the biggest challenges is learning to let go and allowing your adult child to make their own decision, even if you disagree or think that they might make mistakes. Right? It can be a tough transition from a role of authority to one to support and guidance. A lot of times it's hard to, a lot of parents just say, look, I'm in control. And one thing about it, I try to do that senior year really in particular. You give them a little space. They might go to movies here and there in high school, go to a party. But that senior year, really, I try to give them a lot of F-up rope. And what I mean by F-up rope, like go do this, go do that, thing. Then, did you get up and take care of that stuff? Right? I ain't standing over you to do it. I'm not going to remind you to do it because I know they're going to be in a situation where I'm not going to be there. I know that they're going to have to get up in the morning and go to class. I know that they're going to have to do their laundry, and I know that. I know they're going to have to, if they have issues with a professor, they got to address it. If they don't have certain things coming up, whatever, they got to address it.
Okay.
So I try to give them a lot of rope. When I say the F you rope, you don't mess up.
Right.
But to do that, because now you're going to bump your head a couple times, and they see, oh man, and now they more cognizant of what they got to stay on top of, right?
Okay, I got you.
That's kind of how I always kind of do that with them, but I give them a whole lot more rope that senior year, just to kind of like bump your head, and not fuss at them when they forgot to do something, but more so like, hey man, maybe make them. Check them in a way where like, hey bro, ain't nobody gonna stand over you. What you about to say?
I was gonna say, I was gonna ask a question. Do you think that letting go, a lot of parents had that behind? They had to not want to let go behind the I don't want him to make them or him or her to make the same mistakes I made. You know that you hear that a lot of times. Yeah, controlling what happens in the adult child's life. It's masked behind that I just don't want them to make no mistakes like I did. Totally covered up with fear, I get it. But at the end of the day, what can you learn? Right. We had to fall when we learned to ride that bike. Right? We had to sit here and walk in kindergarten and middle school and high school, as scary as it was. You know what I'm saying? You had to go through that kind of stuff. Some things they have to learn on their own. You talked about this on this show many a times, that sometimes letting go and trying to guide them so they won't make mistakes, that's just not the path they want to go down. You get what I'm saying? You've said this many times, that sometimes like leaving the business to your child. That child don't want to do that, don't have an idea about wanting to do that business. It's kind of like you trying to lead them something so they can have a steady future, and that's not what they want to do. Man, you know what? It's funny you even say that. I had a conversation with my homegirl Monet earlier today, and she's in the tax business too. Shout out Monet Long. Me and Monet were talking, and I was just like asking her similar, like, you been in the game for a while, you got 2 Dutch, how do your kids, have they taken? She's like, nah, they're not interested. And that's just one of the things she's like, and same thing with me. Kids of parents that probably have had some success with, especially with business and stuff like that, don't be so quick to want to go into it. And like I told you before, most of the times what I've seen personally, where kids really gravitate to the family business, you like that fucking up or something. And parent kind of like, look man, your ass, I'm tired of getting your ass in our jail, got to pay for all your babies and whatever.
you're gonna come down here and work at the store, and you know, then eventually they kind of just get into it. You I haven't seen a lot of examples. Not saying it doesn't happen, where outside when they're younger, you make them do it. Maybe in high school, I haven't seen a lot of examples where the kids stayed into it. You know, with doing it, and sometimes you look at some of the bigger corporations like the Fords, the Waltons, and all that. I don't necessarily know if all of them took. You know, maybe one or two. You know, with doing it, and I think a lot of that.
Not the Waltons, Walmart, all of them was in it.
They in it or they got ownership.
Most of them started in it, and they got their money. They branched off to other things, but they all went through that system. I got you. Even the grandkids are going through that system.
I got you. And I say that even with like sometimes with the.
But Fords, you're definitely right.
Yeah, but you get what I'm saying. I think a lot of that is attributed to. I just say with myself. I think especially my older kids, seeing the struggles that I went through with daddy building it up, but hell, now it's built. Can't justify, you know, you have good kids, they ain't asked for nothing, but I can't really put a finger on it, like, look, we got this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it ain't no secret public notice. Y'all got a couple years, because I'm selling this shit. I ain't on this generational wealth. One thing about it, I say it all the time, it sounds good when people talk about generational wealth, but once you start, you got a little couple cookies in that jar, and you like, look, man, I ain't really tripping about this shit now.
Right.
Because at some point, I'm finna let this stuff go, with or without you. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really get caught up too tough in the whole generational wealth, and we're trying to build a legacy. Damn that. I'm finna build me a damn vacation home in Florida. Yeah. That's what the hell I'm building.
Somewhere on the island somewhere.
Yeah. Drinking out of coconut, watching girls with grass skirts and stuff.
Swinging on a hammock all day.
Hola.
Trying to think of what side of the beach you gonna sleep on. That's the hardest thing you gotta do.
My dumb man, hola Spanish. What is it? What is it when you're on the damn island or
Which
Hawaii?
island though? That's the one.
I just do the universal hey. Wave it hey.
But I was just throwing that out there because we was talking about letting go. And a lot of times letting go may be hard because a parent is thinking they don't want their child to make the same mistakes they could, so they think they can guide them down a certain different path. But a lot of times, children gonna turn out how they gonna choose their own path eventually.
Absolutely.
You can nudge them, they still gonna take that fork. You get what I'm saying?
Been there, done that.
Right.
And that goes to like the second point we're talking about, these challenges. That's balance, support, and independence. Because striking the right balance between offering support and allowing independence can be tricky. Parents might find it difficult to know when to step in and when to give their adult children space to learn and grow. And it's just real funky with it.
Right.
And sometimes it's difficult to realize that your child can be greater than you at certain things. Like, like, man, I'm hesitant doing this, that, and that, but your child may get it, take the reins and soar. And a lot of times we can put those restrictions on our children, not trying to. Not trying to at all.
So we can hold them back.
Hell yeah, we do hold them back a lot of times.
Right.
We do hold them back. Now, that's a slippery slope. Because sometimes we can give them, like say, give them that damn rope, and they just fall right on their damn face. And, out of 3 kids, hell, on the one might spring right back up, the other one might roll down and cry. You see that with your babies. One baby, just get up and walk off, he fall. The other 2 sit down like, oh, y'all ain't gonna say shit? And just start screaming.
Right.
I just failed. Nobody gonna recognize it. But you got that one.
Right.
Shoot, as soon as they fall, they getting back up. And they carry it over. So it's unique. Like I said, some of those things are brought up by fear. Some of them are brought by your reservation, just looking at your child. But it's a very unique situation. But that's why I do think it's always important for parents to have conversations and understand and be okay with it's different. You know what I'm saying? Right. I think that's one big thing. A lot of times, a lot of parents don't want to necessarily look at. Again, guys, it's Change Lives, hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burden. Tonight show, we're talking about the challenges of raising adult children. We stream live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and Twitter. Please feel free to comment. Anybody on the Facebook, anything came with the comments?
Keith Thomas. I don't know if you know him. Say, hey, Keith Thomas, R&B Soul, Southern Soul, sing. Say, hey.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
What's going on?
Keith, we appreciate you tuning in.
I appreciate that, Keith. But yeah, again, we're talking about the challenge of raising adult children. The first one was letting go of control, balance, and another one, balance, support, and independence. The third one is a communication shift. And communication shift real funky because, oh man, hold on 1 second. Hey, Google, stop. Hold on 1 second, man. I don't know what popped up on my damn. The what's the name went out on the TikTok still there.
Oh.
But the Google came up.
It came up from you talking.
Yeah.
Oh.
I ain't want that.
Google Assistant.
Yeah, for real. Let me get that out there.
Give us 1 second, folks. Trying to get it right.
That's cool.
All right.
And then the next one is communication. Communication dynamics change as children become adults. Parents need to adapt to their communication style to be more open, respectful, and considerate of adult perspective and autonomy. And that's one thing about it. You know, I had this conversation with my boys. You know, especially with Chris. You know, me and him was talking.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on 1 second, man. What the hell going on? Okay. One of the biggest things I had with. One of the biggest things in regards to communicating with my kids, me and Chris had this recently, like, look, you on your own now. Look, I'm still pop.
Mm-hmm.
But I ain't finna talk to you like a 3 or 4. I ain't gonna chump you out.
Right.
You're a man now. Let's have these conversations.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I always try to have that little open door with, look, bro, you know, you got an issue, holler at me and everything like that. But because I know they're on their own, I can't handle them like you will.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
The one to live with me can't. So I got to talk to you as a man. And one rule I always had with all my children, you know, growing up, in our house we don't front on each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we might joke between us, but don't ever talk about your brother or something like that in public.
Right.
We don't do that with each other.
Right.
Now you see people clown in front of their people. They don't do that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, if somebody talk about your brother or your sibling or whatever, no.
Right.
Your mama, daddy, no. No, I want to hear that. We ain't gonna do that.
Not the family.
And I think that's one thing a lot of times, a lot of parents forget that my child is adult now. I can't handle him like he was a little boy.
Right.
Now, the kicker is what? A lot of parents give them that adult respect, and they still act like a little boy or girl.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I can't decide anything without my mom or daddy. I can't make any kind of decisions. I can't go out here and look for a job or do this, that, and that. I'm 25, 26 years old, 30 years old. I still got my mama to fill out applications.
Oh.
My daddy doing all this other kind of stuff.
Right.
So, I'm not saying it's fair or it's warranted, but a lot of times, put yourself
in that position.
And I'm a firm believer, man, you can't create ambition. You can't create
motivation.
That. Hell no.
Inspiration. You can inspire them a little bit, but they have to inspire themselves as well. A lot of children don't inspire themselves.
You can't want stuff more than another person wants.
Right.
You can hope they catch on.
Let me ask you a question. And speaking of that, do you think a lot of times parents go so hard for their children on that perspective of, communication, not treating them like a child because, they want something so much more than the child wants?
It's a tightrope. Right. Because one part you can be like, you spoiling them. And another part, excuse me, can be like you're providing for them. And you don't know how that kid gonna receive it. You're giving it out. Now once you start getting your signs, well, looking at it, you can sit here and say, well, look, man, this man, they ain't appreciative and they're not damn do for whatever. But you can have another child in that household. Thank you, mama. Thank you, daddy. And everything's
trying hard.
You're not doing no different. But you just, it's tough.
It's the individual.
Yeah, exactly, because we work so hard. But now, again, the issue come up is once you see the sign that this damn person unappreciative, you're going to keep doing it. My kids had a nerve one day, bought them something to eat. Hey, man, we eating and stuff like that. I'm kind of like, I ain't not from the school of thought that, I get your food and I eat all your damn food. But, hey, bro, let me have a fry.
Right.
No. I threw all that shit away.
Oh!
Mother, you know what I'm saying?
Whoa.
I threw all that shit away. I bought this shit. If you ask me, I'm going to share with you.
Right.
I didn't ask for your meal.
Right.
But you don't do that.
Give me a couple fries.
No.
No.
No, I ain't gonna say his name. One of them too.
Right.
Spit on it. When I say I grabbed that shit and threw it in the garbage. Huh?
Right.
No.
Right. You forgot who paid for this.
Come
for
on
one.
now. And even if not, family. Now I ain't saying I'm gonna just take all your food and all the other kind of stuff. I heard people say, well, you should have ordered enough. Damn that.
Right.
Damn that. Because I can say that when your ass needs some damn money, whatever, you should have worked a little harder. I can say some more stupid stuff like that.
Right.
But that's not the case. A lot of times, when we see those kind of things, that's what I'm going back, when you're asking about providing for your kids, how do you kind of know if you're spoiling them or whatever?
Right.
I just feel like it's hard to say don't give them so much, because again, you don't know how they're going to receive it.
Right.
Because again, one of your kids, everything, Dad, appreciate it, Daddy. And I'm talking about just totally glad you did it.
Right.
And you got one just act like no big deal.
Like
you
owe
didn't
it
do
to
nothing different. You didn't do nothing different for him.
Right.
Nothing. But you did see that. Mm-hmm. He don't appreciate shit. She don't appreciate a damn thing she do. And you gonna keep doing it? Mm. Now that's when it's on the parent.
Right.
You feel me now?
I think most parents, it's just my opinion, I think most parents say they're not gonna do it, but do continue to do so.
What do you really think reason you think for that?
Because I think that a lot of times they say to themselves, well, if I don't help him, he never gonna get it right. So I'm gonna do it because they think that they eventually they're gonna straighten out. It's like when you're in a relationship, you try to change a person because you want them to do right, but they keep doing wrong. But you keep saying to yourself, I just love them a little bit harder.
What Willie D say? Try to change him, make him be an angel. Yeah, put your whole life in danger.
Put your whole life in danger.
Shout out to Willie D.
Right.
You gotta let him. Yeah.
But that's the same perspective. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely. But it's I don't know if it's tough. I think sometimes when you try to address things like that, it may, you kind of have maybe like, am I being a failure? Did I do something wrong? Parents can go through a whole rainbow of emotions. Mm-hmm. Why they don't check it. But I am a firm believer that you can't control how they react, mm-hmm. but you can control how you react once you see the behavior.
Right.
And that's probably what it is a lot of times. And that's why I asked you that. And I think everybody it's just a ton of different reasons. Mm-hmm. You know what everything doing it.
I'm going to give you like my children. My children has a thing now. They all adults. They all supposed to be all on their own. And they have a thing now where they think I'm just the bank. Like, they think I'm just... And it's like, it's not just one. All three of them ask me for money. Like, and it's not once a week. I mean, well, it's at least one of them every week. Three of them, every 2 weeks. But it's like, and I'm telling them, like, I can't afford to keep giving y'all money. You get what I'm saying? Like, you got to get it on your own. But at the same time, I'm thinking, well, dang, if I don't, what's going to happen? You get what I'm saying? Okay. I don't most of the time. Sometimes I do. But I'm thinking in my mind, like, if I don't, what's going to happen? But then I say I need to let them do it because they'll figure it out. They first thought, I think, is always just to call me or to text me and ask me instead of trying to figure out another way to do it.
It's frightening. Because, right. And I think that's the thing with any parent, your fear of putting yourself in a bad situation got to be greater than your fear of letting them learn the hard way of doing something. And that's just a lot of parents, that fear hasn't got that great yet. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That's just typically what it is. We've all been down that road. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I say a lot of times you hear parents, I wouldn't do this, I wouldn't do that. But but it's easy for me to tell a lab, man, you got to let them learn, because that ain't my child.
Right.
But then a lot of times, though, I say really and truly, and that's usually with any case.
You telling me to let them learn, but at the same time, you over there changing your son tires. I'm not saying that's what you do.
No, you don't. No,
you get what I'm saying? But that's an example.
Right.
You tell me, man, you got to let them learn, and then as soon as you walk out the door, your son tell, I need you to come change my tire, Dad.
Absolutely. Right. They doing something contradicting what they telling you to do, but also they really just don't have that emotional attachment that you got with yours.
Right.
And it's scary. But you know what I just said and what I do mean, like your fear of continue to do this, or that can affect you personally, once it gets greater than that, then you be able to see it.
But do you think that most, and I guess when we get older maybe, but do you think that most parents fear of themselves, of hurting themselves, or whatever the case may be, is greater than the fear of their children getting hurt? Regardless of their age.
Something got to happen. I'm going to be honest with you, Lab. Mine ain't really had a big problem with it, but I tell you, when I went through my damn divorce, and I seen how everybody kept moving in a different way, or in a cool way, and I'm over there sitting there all in the dumps. My shit, take care of poochie meter,
right, got
a whole lot greater.
Right.
So any one of my kids know, if daddy not happy, we're not doing it.
Right.
Your well-being is, that's a priority of mine. Your well-being.
Right.
But my
mental
happiness,
and physical.
My happiness is priority.
Right.
So if I'm not happy doing this shit for you, I'm not gonna do it.
Right.
I'm not gonna do it at all. Because at the end of the day, I've seen my kids grow up, and I've made sacrifices, painful sacrifices, that could have helped me or made me happy to do for other people.
Right.
And then they don't really appreciate it in my eyes.
Right.
Or go the pathway that I wanted to do. So again, well-being, priority. My happiness, above all.
Right.
And I think sometimes you got to go through some shit. Or like I said, that meter. That, where you say, like, look, my shit, whatever, something got to happen to you. And a lot of times, that fear just don't get that big. Yeah. I can't, again, and I
don't think my fear of myself would ever be bigger than the fear of my children getting hurt. But at the same time, I know the difference between you calling to check on me and see if I'm okay, and you just call because to check on me because you're gonna call me in a couple days because you need some money. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
So a lot of times, I have to play a hardball with them and just get it straight, because to be honest with you, my happiness is always is first. If I haven't learned anything through COVID and all that stuff, is that I come first. Like, I don't care about nobody else. I come first. Like, that's just the way it is. Whatever I want to do, I'm gonna do, and however I want to do it, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
Cause like you said, my happiness is above all.
Yeah, because as we get older, we start seeing people pass and whatever, and at the end of the day, people mourn, people feel bad, but the world keep moving.
Yeah,
the clock keeps
turning
and everything like that. You can walk right out of a funeral at any given moment and see all kind of construction, folk driving down the road. Life's still going on. And at the end of the day, you sit here like, man, I got to do this and worry about this with my kids. They got to do this with my grandbaby. Man, no.
Right.
No, look, man, y'all got to do something.
Get together.
Do something. Seriously, man, because at the end of the day, people, you can be gone. You have to make sure you enjoy yourself. Tomorrow, it is real, man.
These bills gonna keep going.
I lost a lot of people close to me, and it's like, people keep it moving. They hurt, they miss you, but shit, they
gotta keep going.
Absolutely,
right.
So you gotta be very, very careful. That again, guys, we're talking about the challenges of raising adult children. The call-in number is 678-740-9894. Again, that's 678-740-9894. We're talking about different challenges. The next one is one that I think, kind of alluding what Lab just talking about. That's just those financial boundaries. Financial support can be a complex issue. Parents may struggle with setting boundaries and determining how much financial assistance, if any, they should provide to their adult children, especially as they enter the workforce and pursue further education. Now I'm sitting there like, me and one of my sons had a conversation. And I keep all names out, but I'm like, hey, bro, shit, me and your mama pay this.
Right.
You getting this, you ain't got to pay that. Where the hell your money at?
Right.
Oh, well, no, man.
That's not how this
You
works.
don't want me checking you like you foe. But I'm finna do it if, get me out of this.
Right.
That's the thing about it. Like, because again, like, when people don't find that priority, like, your money. You want my help, but you want my help the way you want it.
Right.
I just need to pay this.
And when you want it.
Yeah, so I'm telling you, I'm grown. You can't tell me I pay my bills. Well, leave me alone. Be grown when you paying your bills.
Right.
Be grown when you out there going to the club. Be grown then. And you feel me?
Right.
Don't turn to no little boy when you need to borrow some damn money.
Right. Right.
Real talk, man.
Keep it grown all day, every day.
Hey, goddamn, and you know what? That is really any parent's dream.
Mm-hmm.
Cool, because like I always say, like, just be able to. I felt real proud when I went over to your house and I was able to walk in and say like, man, damn, this my son's house. You know, just say, hey son, can I take you shit? Man, you good, Daddy.
Right.
Hey man, I grab a little drink. Man, go in the refrigerator.
Right.
Man, that
we
did
family.
Hey, my son told me I go in this refrigerator, I'll grab this remote. I felt good about it.
Right.
That's it. That's a father's dream.
Right.
Okay, shit, I'm at my son's house.
Right.
I'm on the phone. Hey man, yeah, I'm at my son's crib watching the game.
Right.
Yeah, you know that. So that was cool. But at the end of the day, man, you know how many times people had them conversations where the kid calling them, asking them all that kind of stuff, parent. Because one thing that my grandfather told me when I was a teenager, and I have really ingrained that in my kids: you want me out your damn business, keep me out your business. Period. And that's anybody.
Right.
If you need me, reach out to me.
Right.
But don't make me playing B or C. Go a little bit into the alphabet. Go a little bit into the alphabet.
No, children making you plan A.
Yeah. Go a little bit into the alphabet. Because if you won't hear my damn mouth, you won't hear shit I got to say, bump your head a little bit.
Right. Hit me at X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, go eat some Vienna sausage.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Go fry some Spam.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear this shit about you hungry.
Right.
No, come on now. Cut that little piece up in about 20 pieces. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah,
get you some potted meat and crackers.
Yeah, there you
Hit
go.
me up.
Go do some shit.
Right.
Go do some shit.
Right.
And then I go back to as a parent, we gotta be okay. We gotta be okay with letting them go through it. I fear, man, he over there hungry. He ain't damn hungry. Shit, he can get some potted meat.
If he hungry, he'll figure it out.
Yeah, there you go.
Right.
There you go, man. I mean, I remember when my roommate, I'm met with Deonte Jones, that's my roommate at Fort Hood. Man, we done messed up all our damn money. And I remember we ain't had no money to go to the club. We want to go to Too Short concert. This is in the late 90s at Fort Hood. We ain't had no damn money. Tell you, said, man, boy, come on, I got you. We went down to the blood bank. We got us about $25. Too Short.
So y'all was at the concert.
Big old bandages on the arms. Soldiers. What we got? Miss Mix-a-Lot. What's up, Miss Mix-a-Lot? She on TikTok. My goal is for my children to not need me, and that's the key thing. Shout out to Miss Mix-a-Lot.
Slick says if you take care of your child, then that child has a child. Now them and their child is in your pockets. Now what?
Hell yeah.
Right.
Hell yeah. And I used to tell my sons all the time. I remember my older son was going on a date. I don't think Will was born. He was like, yeah, I need money for this and need money for that. I said, boy, I ain't gonna give you money for your woman. And he was like, what happened? He was like, I remember P said, if daddy gotta get money, you gotta share it with daddy.
Right.
Good job, son.
Stanley Gore said, man, you preaching.
Yeah. What's happening, cuz? But that's one of the things, and you know what? No father or any parent has no problem helping their child they see they're out there doing for themselves.
Right.
If I know you out there busting your tail,
making an effort,
and you're making an effort, shit, I catch you on the back end. Yeah, I might catch you on the back end and take care of the front for you. Because I know you trying. But that's the thing about it. Again, it go back to that fear. That's what I think that is. You know, again, we talk about these challenges, like I said, that control the financial things. Because the key, I'm telling you, man, once people get money in their pocket, that's when people think they smart. I can make these decisions. But when that money gone, now they turn back. No, keep that energy. Keep that energy. Stay grown. Cause that's one thing I reiterate to anybody. I definitely put that shit in my kids' head. Once people start giving you money, they're gonna feel like they got control. They're gonna feel like they can say something.
I say that all the time.
Yeah, a person might knock on your door. They start giving you money, and they see they don't walk right in it. So you gotta be very.
The code, the key. They got a key.
Exactly.
Right.
And you put yourself in them damn situations, because sometimes you just gotta be uncomfortable in life, and because people don't want to be uncomfortable, that's why they sit there and do certain things like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, and I thank God all the time I was raised by an older guy. My granddad wasn't old school and wasn't no, I'm teaching him to say it right. He shot from the damn hill. But he was just like, you don't want me in your shit, Poochie.
Keep me out of it.
And that's just like, look, man, just take care of stuff. And I know if I ever needed him, I could. It was one time when I was in Germany. And this is funny. When I was, I had my moment where I knew that I couldn't depend on nobody. I was my first duty station in Germany, 18. I mean, I done sat there and probably done tricked off and did. I don't know what the hell I done did. I ain't had no money.
No money.
No money. So I done called my mama and I'm 18.
Right.
I done called my mama and grandma.
On your own.
I couldn't wash my clothes. I was messed out. And I called my mama and grandma. Said, look, I ain't got no money. Can y'all send me some Western Union, some money or whatever? And I heard my mama say, Mama, Poochie ain't got no money. He can't eat and wash his clothes. We got to do something. And I heard my grandma, I ain't got shit. And my mama like, well, maybe when I get paid next week, I can sing you something. And it hit me. They ain't got no damn money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they really ain't got no damn money.
That's
like,
what I mean.
Shit. I thought that was my spare time. It hit me then, like,
right.
What the hell? I'm calling all the way in Europe. I'm calling all the way back to Bankhead.
Right.
And they're like, man, they ain't got no damn money. What the hell am I going to do? That was my moment where I knew, like, little, hey, man, shit. You know, look, I can't depend on nobody. They say bump my head no more. They sell them donating blood, selling blood and shit. But that was my moment. Like, shit, I can't go back to them.
Figure this out.
She damn sure said I can see you some money when I get paid in maybe a week or so. I said, man, I'm over here like, man.
But you have to have those wake up moments.
Hell yeah.
You have to have those wake up moments. I remember I was in college, and like I told you, I got in college on the grant. So when I remember I was in college and I was dead hungry. I was dead hungry that night. I remember it like it was yesterday. I was dead hungry. And I didn't even bother calling my mom. I knew I couldn't call her. I knew it. I was like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? And back then, and I tell Slick all the time, back then, you know, you could turn them bottles in for 10 cents. You know, those Coke and Pepsi bottles in for 10 cents. And I went around and I found about maybe 15, 16 of them damn things. And I got me something to eat there. I think I got about $3-4.
And I'm telling you something. It's empowering for you or even your children once they get out there. They're lazy as shit. But once they get out there and they turn around and make some money for themselves and start they make their own money and start doing stuff with their own money, it's empowering.
Yeah, that night I knew I had to get a job. And about the next 2 weeks I had a job. I couldn't go to college and not have a job.
But you know, like I said again, we got to be able to let them go through that.
Right.
Okay, got to be able to let them go through that. Again, guys, you want to call in 678-740-9894. Again, it's 678-740-9894. Tonight's show we're talking about the challenges of raising adult children. The next one, man, this is real. This is one that's real touchy. And that's different values and beliefs. We're talking about challenges. And as adult children form their own identities and worldviews, their values, beliefs might differ from those of their parents. Navigating these differences while maintaining a respectful and understanding relationship can be challenging. I don't believe in voting. I don't want to whoop my kid.
Right.
We're going to just send them to private school.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, I don't want to work for the white man. I don't want to work. I ain't going to get up. I ain't doing a job.
Right.
And the white man got to tell me what, all that kind of.
I don't believe in no pagan holidays.
And you be like, well, what the? Did you get this damn thinking for? You know, you just sitting there like, what the? Did the aliens get my kid?
Yeah.
I mean, they get views and stuff that you just sitting there like, you know, I'm gonna burn the Bible. I don't believe in God. Damn America, I'm not a citizen. All kind of stuff, and it's not the just sitting and say somebody's stupid, but it's just being like, okay, open-minded enough, and it's very challenging because the average person not really open-minded.
Yeah, a lot of us think that we are, but in all honesty, 90% of people are not open-minded as they think they are.
I seen a video. It was a video. I think a father found out his son was gay. They just started beating on him, and it was a fictional show. It was on Instagram or TikTok. And you know what always triggered me to go to the comments. Good dad, good dad, good dad. And I think a lot of times people say that shit because they went through it. You know what I'm saying? And I think sometimes you find out that your child may be gay, that your child sitting there done changed the religion or how they raising their kids, or they don't want to do it. You got to sit there and say to yourself, look, this ain't me.
This ain't my life.
This ain't my damn life.
Right.
And it probably hit hard a little bit more on two things. If you're still taking care of them, or you know that you're probably going to get some kind of
ridicule.
Exactly. There you go. Appreciate it. And that's one of the things about it. And a lot of parents go through that. Well, I don't believe in I don't think a kid actually believe in their lifestyle.
Right.
I don't think a kid actually believe in the way they discipline to raise their kids, the way they work and stuff like that. But that's one of them things, man. You start talking about, we're doing it like as a parent.
Mm-hmm.
They're totally against what we're doing it. I'm the first of my family with everything, man. I'm telling you something, dog. Like when I decided to go in the Army, none of my family went to college.
Mm-hmm.
And they, just me going in the Army, I was very adamant, like I'm going to the Army and then go get the money to go to school. Like nobody was hearing the school part.
Right. They just hear the Army.
Going to the Army and we retired and we set for life and all this shit. They just their view was so narrow. We're doing it. Good people.
Right.
But just ain't thinking that far ahead and stuff like that. And I think a lot of times, parents, we get caught up in that stuff where we view the world, where we do certain things, because we also take consideration we're all a generation 2 from behind. And, just like now with damn music, sexuality, drugs and shit like this stuff these kids go through. I just seen Sookie with the good stuff do a video interview with a girl Sookie, and she was just talking about she ain't got no STD. She didn't. No STDs this year. No kind of no more baby daddies. No more having sex unprotected. And I'm just saying, like, this is a girl with a huge following.
Right.
And you're sitting there like, I couldn't see one of them girls in the 90s opening their mouth
to say stuff
to say something like that.
And that's the thing. Like a lot of stuff that kids say nowadays and kids go through nowadays. Us back then, we could see, like, even sexually, like, to get a girl sexually back in the day was a prize. Now it's just
they just take a picture of their thing and send it to
now
them.
it's just par for the course.
Look what he sent me.
Right. It's not any prize to it. It's just is.
What the girl say? Pound town.
Right.
A thing pink. A butthole brown. Pound town. Pound town.
And that's a song.
How you write that shit on paper?
Right.
How the hell you write that shit on paper? Pound town. My thing pink. My booty hole brown.
And you looked at it and you said,
"Hey, she like that nigga old hell. What the hell? Pound down."
There are no boundaries now. There are no boundaries to. There's no prize to anything now. It's just out there. Like Slick said, social media has messed up a lot of people. It's just out there now. It's just nothing is a prize anymore. Nothing is you don't have to work towards anything like we did back in the day. You know what I'm saying? It's just instant gratification.
But you know what though, Lab? That's a good and bad thing. It's not necessarily bad because a lot of times kids got access to stuff. But again, our processing with it, when you look like you on some OG shit.
Yeah.
But do that make us wrong? Does that make them right? Morally, we can look at some stuff like that, but that's how it is. Kind of like when you start looking at some of our older movies, like our great grandparents. Like we might go to like Slow Dragon. 2 or 3 generations ago was just no.
Oh, they don't even dance now.
Yeah, but I'm just talking about, just say in our generation we might go to a house party in Slow Drag. Our grandparents were like, you can't do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like just the touching and all that kind of stuff. Just say I think we used to go to Sharon Showcase or MBK and all that kind of stuff. I'm going in there sweating, and I'm greedy. I want one in the front, one in the back. I'm all having a good time. Hell. You know what I'm saying? I got a loop pumping.
Right.
I come out there soaking, you know what I'm saying? Wet. And man, I know my grandparents, they ain't even trying to sit there.
Right.
That just was a whole different era, in regards to doing that. So it's challenging, but it's different. And that's what we start talking about, difference in values and beliefs. It's hard. It's hard. That's what I'm saying. As a parent, sometimes we gotta just step back. Look, man, I don't get it. I don't understand this shit, but that's how they are. And sometimes you gotta sit there and say, if it ain't hurting nobody, man, and that's still funky because I know how I look morally.
But if it's not, that's what I'm about to say. We might say it's not hurting nobody, but is it hurting them morally? Like they may not be hurting anybody else, but are they hurting themselves morally? Are they setting themselves down a path where nothing is sacred anymore? Like nothing. Like I remember a few years back, I heard girls were saying, and this is, I'll forget the video. They were saying, "Oh yeah, oral sex, that ain't sex. That's just what it is." You know what I'm saying? Like, no, you get what I'm saying? Like the things, I know things are different. We older. Don't get me wrong, I know we old. They say we old folks and all that. I get what you're saying, but a lot of times we have to. Our children, as our adult children, we have to look at them and say, it may not be bothered, it may not be hurting the next person, but is it hurting you inside? Is it an internal bruise that we don't see?
I'm gonna tell you. What Rick say? That's dry.
No, that's dry.
Shoot, but those were good times, boy. Shout out to Sharon Showcase. Boy, we was wearing white clothes with the neon lights.
Oh,
if you from Atlanta in the '90s, you know. You wear your all white and Sharon's got the neon. Lord,
I never been a Sharon Showcase.
See them big booty girls on the stage.
Right.
It's on. Yes, sir. Then you go to Club Excess, boy. Boy, Atlanta was that's a whole Atlanta, boy.
That's a whole Atlanta.
Oh Lord, boy.
Well, you have to worry about getting shot coming out the club.
No, man.
Just having a good time.
Come out with a pocket full of phone numbers. Yes, sir. Real West Side player.
Right.
But you know, but to that point, one thing I do stress with that is when I try to be just looking at other views, we're looking at things different from a moral perspective, is can you handle the ramifications of how you think?
Mm-hmm.
Because you know, I'm probably old school, me being a business owner, just being in business and going through corporate America. I'm probably a little bit more jaded with grooming.
Mm-hmm.
I tell my kids, hey, this, that, and that. And again, things ain't changed. You know, some folk got braids, some folk got dreads. I'm a little old school, like, hey, man, you trying to do this, trying to do that. And when I try to stress to my kids or any young person I talk to, like, look, can you handle, like, it may not be fair or whatever, but if you get skipped over because of your dreads, you get skipped over because of your long beard, you get skipped over because of your braids, well, it don't matter, because you can't want to come to my party or come in my house and do business with me and dictate to me how the hell you gonna look.
Right.
And that's anything, right?
Right.
So with that said, you know, that's I try to have them conversations like, look, I get it. You want to express yourself, you want to do that, that's cool. But understand the ramifications may come from it. Don't mean it's fair, don't mean it's right, don't whatever. I'm just saying these are the things, and if you are cool with that and you can handle that, okay.
Right.
But that's why I try to have them conversations like, look, I get it. When I want to have you can't tell me what to do. I get it. But you're trying to work there. You're trying to be a part of that. And unfortunately, your opportunity is going to be dictated on some things.
Some people base stuff off, you know, like you said, it's not fair, but if I, like you said, if you come to my party, you gotta dance. If I tell you to dance, that's just the way it's go. Or don't come.
And that ain't necessarily even about coning. Because again, that could be just, you can be an old school brother. Just like, look, I want everybody here clean shaven.
Yeah.
Shit, it may not be right, but I'm just saying, that's why I say, you just got to understand, if you're going to go down that route, that's fine. When I came out of the Army, there were jobs, you know, like, you know, they offer jobs, especially with fire. It's different now, police and all that stuff. And I remember a brother, he took a light to me. He was like, man, I can get you in with the fire department. So, you know, I'm on this pretty boy shit. I got shaved my beard. He said, yeah. I don't know what the standards are now. We're talking the 90s. I wasn't even trying to hear shit.
So he wasn't trying to hit
face.
Right.
Like, no, hell no. Like, there was no, and he just thought I was just the most stupid. And different federal jobs. Like, just the whole notion, I had to shave my face. I look at now again, I ain't really want to do that. But just when I was telling these guys, no, they're like, man, you gonna turn down this kind of wages because of hair on your face? Yeah. And I can stand on it. So that's why I can tell people, look, you gotta, if you can stand on it,
right,
cool.
Right.
But don't be sitting there whining and tripping because folks have to do that, you know, don't want to, you know, buy into. You understand what I'm saying? And that's why I think a lot of times, a lot of young folks, even people in general, miss out on it because they don't want to stand on how they feel on something. They just feel like my way. What you about to say?
Go ahead, I'm gonna read this comment.
You know, a lot of, you know, that's just how I feel. That's the way it should be. Now, if you want to sit here and do this, these are the rules of that party or the rules of that game. You gotta play by them rules.
Right.
You can't make your own rules. You know.
Stanley Gordon says, I agree with what you guys are saying, but some things just should not be done, even though it is not hurting you at the time. Some things you do have a butterfly effect. A 5-year-old girl should not be doing certain dances, whether it's a group or solo. And I agree. I agree with his statement.
I 150% agree with it. But check this out. Let's go with this. Let's go with this scenario. My son bring granddaughter over. You just talking now. Son bring granddaughter over. And they got my granddaughter over there. She the music come on. She over there pee-pop. Popping her butt, shaking her butt.
Twerk.
And I'm over there. I done lost my MF mind. What in the world going on? She just dancing. Baby mama or girlfriend, I'm sorry. They say that. Son over there ain't saying nothing. Now I can sit here and say, well, hey bro, y'all can't do that in my house or whatever, this, that, and that. But at the end of the day, how far can you go? You know what I'm saying? So you're in a funky spot with doing that. And you know, I'm a firm believer in addressing.
Right.
One thing my granddad told me, don't you ever leave no situation where a person don't understand where the hell you stand.
Right.
Because, like I told Chris the other night on some situations, your silence, now that William, your silence means you agree with it.
You agree to
So if you got a problem, say something.
Right.
That don't mean they're gonna agree with it, but a lot of times, you know, keep telling somebody what to teach you. You need to address it. Don't mean they're gonna agree with you, but when you don't say shit, that means you sitting there agreeing with it, right or wrong, because you ain't saying nothing about it, and you don't need to say that after the fact. But it's it's real funky we're doing that, because again, that's what we're talking about, different values and beliefs. I'm standing on it. That's how I feel. Y'all can't come on my house. Y'all doing it, son. If she gonna be doing it, or at least y'all can't come on my damn house.
Right.
I'm not gonna deal with y'all like that. But you gotta be able to stand on that.
Right.
And a lot of times people they don't want to do that.
Passive aggressive.
Yeah. Hey, look, well, I want to see my grandmother. That's something they got them doing that. No. That's why I say sometimes that feel of not seeing your grandmother. That feel of not speaking to your child. You know what I'm saying? Gotta be less than you sitting there saying, look, I am not gonna deal with this, because if I gotta deal with this shit, I ain't gonna be happy around you.
Right. I can say from just being around Slick and her grandchildren, she addresses it. Now I tell you, you gotta address it a little bit, maybe a little bit not, because she's so West Side, you know, she's so Simpson. You gotta address it a little bit different. But she does address it because, and she stands on it. Like you said, if you're gonna be doing that, you can't come over here. Like her granddaughter is 7, and her mom has this thing where she don't think the granddaughter has to wear underwear, and Slick like, no, she needs to have on dang on underwear. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that needs to happen. So, and the mom like, well, no, I don't think it's necessary around the house, and she like, no, it's necessary all times of the day. Everywhere you go, so
and those be them slippery slopes, because at the end of the day, I know even Slick telling her that, look, okay, we'll do it over here.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you ain't gonna convince nobody to be a certain way.
Right.
That just be them tough situations with doing it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that's the case, but those kind of things. Look, let me just get Poochie shut the hell up. So let
me do it while you're over there.
Yeah.
But when you come back home, it's a free for all.
Exactly.
Stanley Gore says they let these children do these dances, but do not understand the nature of where the dances are coming from. They were used to seduce men in the strip club, and that's true. I think a lot of times, as we see stuff, like we said back in the 80s and 90s, we knew what those things were and what they were for. But as things go on, I'll give you a good example. Our parents could stand rap music, but now rap music is a mainstream thing, and now we can't stand it because of the way it sounds. You get what I'm saying? So, like we said, Pound Town. You know.
How many times have you seen where people got a little boy, hey, gonna cuss,
right.
And then now, and it was funny,
right.
And now they 17, 18 years old, and they're still cussing every other word and all that kind of stuff. No respect for authority. I've been times I was coaching, and coach say something to the kid. Parent, you can't talk to him this, that, and that, and all that kind of stuff. And the coach ain't respect the kid. Told the son, you can't be fighting in the game. Son, you need to get up, you need to stand up, whatever. Checking them. Parent got a problem with them. Now they 17, 18 years old. They have no respect for authority. None of this stuff. Now they in adulthood. They still can't. And the reason why I want to have these conversations, because cat go to jail. Out here, you know, I'm gonna do what the hell I want to do. I'm not gonna follow rules. I'm not gonna respect authority. But once you go to jail, you forced. Now you gotta stand in the line. Now you gotta wash your hand, wash your butt, eat whenever you get the opportunity to do it.
Right.
Now rules are just totally enforced on you. You know what I'm saying? Do the shit without having to go there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like now you're in a world where everything is you're told what to do.
Not only the prison rules, but you got prisoner rules.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So you're talking about your whole life is now all these rules enforced. Do the shit before then.
Mm-hmm.
Do it before then. And at the end of the day, I do think, unless you got some kind of chemical imbalance, everybody morally got some idea of what's right and wrong. So that's why we had these conversations. I hear a lot of times people say, well, I didn't have a father, this, that, and that. Shit, you got 50-50 chance of having a good daddy. Your ass no right or wrong.
Right.
Daddy, you don't need daddy to tell you don't steal.
Right.
You don't need daddy to tell you shut the hell up.
Right.
You don't need daddy to do that. Daddy will help you with some stuff maybe from a male perspective, but just legal shit, you don't need daddy to tell you that.
Right.
And that's real talk, man. That's real talk. Now,
because I ain't had one, and I ain't been to jail none time.
But that's what I'm saying. A lot of times, and I had these conversations with my kids I mentor. When you mess up, own it.
Mm-hmm.
When I messed up in business, life, when I messed up in my marriage, I had to own it.
Right.
Shit, because until you own it, you can't fix it.
Mm-hmm.
What I tell you all the time, like, when I coach them kids, Coach, son, Coach, I know I didn't miss the block. Son, you gotta admit it first.
Right.
Once you admit it, we can fix it.
Right.
I can't fix shit until you admit it.
Right.
And that's everybody. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, we were talking about those differences of kids. Actually, 1 second. We started talking about kids going through stuff. I'm sorry, the call coming on the phone. The challenges of raising adult children. Those things come up so much, and we have to make sure, like, you got to be mentally tough as a parent. Another one is, I think I struggle with myself, with my children. That's probably advice and interference. As well. Like, sometimes I do think that, not that my way is the right way, but damn, like, some shit, like, bro, do you understand what common sense is? Mm-hmm. And different ways of thinking, I don't know where the shit come from.
Well, I was reading the book, How Outwitting the Devil. It says that a lot of times we are influenced by the things we see and the people we're around the most. They have either negative or positive influences on
Absolutely,
us.
absolutely. And sometimes parents, we can kind of let stuff go away. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you just know where the hell it come from. Mm-hmm. And when you start looking at those particular things, just like, look, man, I'm trying to school you, give you some game. And that's why I said, me talking to my 12-year-old son, me talking about 19, me talking about 21 and 28, it's kind of like a different tone that I gotta kind of use.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. The words gotta be different or whatever. Cause my baby boy, I gotta tell him what to do. Mm-hmm. But even still, I try to kind of keep respect. But my older son here, he almost 30.
Right.
So I can't talk to him. He got a damn family. He got a house.
Right.
He got a job.
You can suggest.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. I can roll this by you.
Right.
But like I always tell my look, man, I'm gonna tell you, look, and what I always say, I ain't no big proponent of unsolicited advice.
Right. When
you call me, I always have the first question. So what you ask for my opinion? Right. I ask that because I'm not gonna get into the same shit that you're not gonna listen to.
Right.
My air is precious.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I've been in those situations where you try to talk to them, and as they get older, you want to kind of keep it where, look, you do want to be able to have some communication with you. And you don't want to have it so much because you're so damn stuck on the way you move that it keeps them away. Mm-hmm. So I try to keep that respect level with my children, like, hey, what's what. But you gotta be mentally prepared for some crazy shit come out of their mouth. Yeah, for their response. Exactly. A lot of people ain't. Another thing we start talking about challenges. We're gonna be able to wrap up soon, man. I got a lot, but man, this conversation. I wish some of you guys call in.
They want to comment on social media.
But this is a big one too. There's boundaries in personal space. Be able to know, okay, look, that ain't mine. Like I said, no. I got an opinion about how you doing my grandbaby, but
ain't my problem.
Shit ain't my. It's tough.
Right.
It's tough.
Right.
Like you just said that with all that we're doing it, the problem come up is again now, especially, you subsidizing the helping. Again, like I said, Poochie, you want me out your business, don't put me in your business.
Right.
Don't ask me for this, that, and that. And I'm like, well, damn, the kids ain't got this, that, and that. But you ain't asked me for that or whatever. I got to be careful with that. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying I got a right to say something if I'm helping you.
Right.
But people got to be very mindful of that. Because you don't like how, damn, man, I don't think you need to be going to that job. Bro.
Right.
It makes sense to do that and all that kind of stuff. One key thing, Tony Hawk, the skateboarder, at one point, this was years ago, he had, you know, mask, and it's probably more than that. At that time, it was like $30 million business with the skateboarding industry. But what always stuck with me, he said, as a young adult, his father didn't know nothing about skateboarding, but a lot of his friends was really tripping on his father, like, hey man, you letting your damn grown ass son skateboard?
Right.
And his father, he said, to my father's credit, he let me kind of do it. You know I was serious, and you know I'm no bad kid. Mm-hmm. You fast forward, then we got a $20 or $50 million business now, company was doing it. But he said that stuck with him. Parents kind of give your kids be the rope to do that. And I've tried to do that, and and I think a lot of times I try to ask my kids. Some stuff I'm like, I don't see it. I
think it's hard for us to let our kids to mess up. I do really believe that it's hard because, like we said earlier, we just don't want them to go through the same things we went through, same perils and failures that we went through. But that's what builds character. We have to let them do it. I say it now, and you know, it's easy to say while we're having this conversation on this podcast, but at the same time, it's harder to do. You know, you see your child for the mess up, it's going to be a big mess up. Do you step back and let it happen? Especially
when you got to fix the mess up. Especially that.
Right.
Especially that. Again, guys, we're talking about raising adult children. Just having an open conversation in regards to, if you want to call in, the number 678-740-9894. And the last one I want to run over, and this is the very, very tough. Mm-hmm. And that's one is really siblings and family dynamics. So when you guys...
Let me. I'm sorry to cut you out. I think it's one more we should hit before that. That's maintaining emotional connection.
Okay, maintain emotional connection. When we talk about as children become adults, they might become more independent and busy in their own lives. Mm-hmm. Maintaining a strong emotional connection, spending quality time together can become very challenging. And I struggle with this because, I mean, I look at just, I always told my children, man, once a week. Mm-hmm. And I always say, just holler at me, you know what I mean?
Right.
And worst case scenario, it takes 3 seconds to do what? Shoot a text.
Shoot
a text. And as my children got older, my older son, maybe every 2 weeks, mm-hmm. P-Dog still maybe come up. Chris, he in college now and everything. But just, look, let's just, hey, check on me.
Yeah,
I'm going to check on you.
I said that to my children a lot, too. You know, I didn't mean to cut you off, I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. I said it to my children a lot, too. You know, just check on me. You text me when you need something, text me when you don't need something. Yeah, but and I think a lot of times, especially with me, you were lucky in your divorce. Your kids my kids chose sides. And they chose her side over my side because the story she was telling. It wasn't their business why we got divorced. And I didn't think I didn't want to tell them whose business, you know, what happened, because it's none of their business. They're my children. But she chose to tell them some that's here and there. But they chose sides, so that emotional connection over those years that we divorced and fighting and all that other stuff got lost.
Yeah. Just because they stay with me don't mean they ain't shoot on side. Right. I'm saying that we get that disclaimer. I'm just get that disclaimer. I think I just got one daddy's boy. Don't get me wrong. I think I just got one daddy's boy.
But the sides, they know which one that is. To make a little bit more when they're there with you when you're not. See, because my kids were older. Yeah. I mean, when I got divorced, my youngest son was 19, 20.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So that connection was already a little strained because, like you said, he working, he doing his own thing. But once the divorce happened, that emotional connection got totally lost, and it got lost for years. So now it's trying to come back together in the last few years, but it's still strained because I feel like they only come to me because they want money. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, and like you just had that genuine connection.
Right.
Like, do you really give a shit about me? You just want me to help you?
Right.
You know, we're doing that and stuff like that, and it's tough. Mm-hmm. And it's tough. And again, I'm not sitting here trying to say my way is the right way. If you do this ain't gonna happen. Shit, I can't. I can't. The kids ain't no damn puppies. They got minds of their own. They gonna do what they want to do.
And they gonna feel how they want to feel.
Exactly, and you cannot control that.
Okay,
no way whatsoever. Okay, and the next one, like I said, is sibling and family dynamics. And what I want to touch on this is because you may be in a situation that everybody roll the same. You may be in a situation where everybody totally different. One successful, one okay, and one just totally what the hell going on. Mm-hmm. And I think that's real tough, man, especially they become adults, because it becomes strained because now you got dynamics as disappointment, jealousy, resentment, all this kind of stuff between the parent and the children and then the siblings. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of times because people don't have open communications about certain things, will be straight up. Because I've had discussion with my children, because I'm on the other side, and I had a divorce. I think I shared this in regards to, I looked at, with my wills and stuff like that. I totally redid every damn thing. Mm-hmm. Because they're older now. I ain't had to, I changed my life insurance policies and stuff like that. Shifted more like I'm giving you stuff more than I need to give you money. Mm-hmm. And I can give you game if you want to hear it now, right, and everything. But you don't know what kind of thing go on, how they gonna do stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm blessed. All my kids good kids and stuff like that. But you sit there like, same mom and daddy, or same parent, whatever, we're doing it. Everybody can go in a whole different path, and you can't control that.
Right.
We love our kids. And as a parent, do parents have favorites? You can say yeah, no, but a lot of times parents do have 1 or 2 kids. They might be a little closer. Mm-hmm. Don't mean you don't love the other ones, but the other ones just may be a little closer to daddy. They may just not even be, whatever that. Mm-hmm. They still love it, but that's unreal.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you have one kid that just, you might not even put that much in them. But what I always say, we get too much credit, too much blame when they do wrong,
right,
and too much credit when they do right.
Right.
And you just got one kid like, shit, man, I ain't had shit to do with that motherfucker. I don't know. Right. I ain't never talking about it being no damn rocket, but he out there, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you damn sure told the joke was still out the damn stove.
Right.
So those kind of things can come up, and you got one kid on this path and another on this path, and you try to get this damn happy median, or at least get this one on track. Mm-hmm. Well, hey, share some of that shit on your brother or sister.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And like, nah, look, this me. It's tough.
Yeah, and you hit on something that I was gonna say. How do you balance that? Where you may have 3 children, and 2 of them are just one's a doctor, one's a lawyer, one may be a rocket science, one's a chemical engineer, and then you got this other one. And how do you balance the fact that you love them all, but how do you balance the fact of not being so excited for these 2? And just being okay with this one. You get what I'm saying?
The best advice I can give anybody is encourage everybody to be proud of each other. One thing I always made my kids do was, no matter what they had going on, support your sibling. Mm-hmm. So if you ain't into this shit, we got to go to this band recital. We got to go to this program, because I always try to instill in them that your shit ain't no more important than his.
Right.
So whatever we did, that was one of the biggest things that I think. Well, because my kids are real close. All 4 of them real close. Mm-hmm. But that was one thing I was very adamant about. Your shit, this football game, ain't no important more than this damn robot, robotic stuff we got to go to. And so, well, anybody in your shit either. But
right.
We got to go.
We got to go.
Well, I tell my older son, come on, see your ass lose. We said, race, your ass done damn lost. We ain't seen that shit. Right. But as they grew older, we really respect each other's different paths with doing it, and that worked for me. I don't know if it's gonna work for somebody else, right? But it's tough, because your child become president of the United States, other child becomes shift supervisor.
Right.
Just hey, be glad with it, and also I always say they be proud of each other. Mm-hmm. With doing it, and that, because I can honestly say this, dog. As I think I've been pretty successful in my life, on my mama's side, my daddy's side. Me and all my cousins close. I ain't never felt like I had no hate or jealousy. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Now, I've been in places where, I'm doing this, that, and then some of them be like, some of my cousins might be on the same path, and some of them ain't. And when you get to talking about, hey, I'm doing this, that, and that, you know when you're talking Chinese or Arabic, and they're good cuz. And you got one cousin, he might got a promotion at the post office, doing something with UPS. And or he got a new damn truck, and they're like, they don't want a Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. And I might be a little reserved, like, damn, man, I just started, this business, or did this, that, and that. But that ain't really gonna get that response. But I never felt hate,
right,
or jealousy.
Right.
Don't mean it happened, but I never felt that. And I think a lot of times, as long as everybody kind of acknowledge or see what's going on, I think that'd be the thing. And even with parents, that's a good question. I think with parents, as long as everybody kind of have respect, well, that's the path they going, that's the path they going on, and man, and be somewhat interested when you ain't interested, if that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah, well, what that is, okay, cool. All right, cool, that's fine. And because all my kids totally damn different.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I've always pushed it. I don't necessarily know, being honest, if that's going to carry forward with my youngest son because he got 3 adult brothers.
Right.
So I don't have to control. Well, I made everybody go. Now they damn really on their own got to come and go. But I am that to call, hey man, you need to be at your brother's shit.
Right.
To an adult son.
Right.
Are they going to come or not? I don't know.
Right.
Ooh,
But you made that for hey.
Yeah, you need to go.
We'll doing such and such.
Yeah, exactly.
Where you at?
Yeah, because somebody went to your shit.
Right.
And everything. So even with my older son, try to say, okay, look, let me try to go to a couple of his games, coaching high school ball. Let me go to a couple of his stuff and sit there and everything like that. You know, we're doing that. And just try to keep that nature going. But it's tough. It's tough and everything. You got any comments, anything before we close it out?
Slick says that being a responsible person in the family is not always who she wants to be. It's a heavy burden. So like if your children has one who's just responsible, that's a heavy. And I don't think I'm that in my, because you know I have 2 sisters. You wouldn't know it, but our relationship was strained from the shoot. So that's a different thing. But just being a responsible person, everybody always relying on you as the sibling to do the right thing and do what's necessary to maintain the family. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm like I said, I'm the first college, first business, and all this other kind of stuff. Even with the bachelor's, masters, and all that kind of stuff. Part of it be kind of like a euphoria. People look at, okay, you know, esteem thing. You know, it might be my arrogant side, like, hey, we're doing that. The other side is pressure, and then the other side you be like, man, I'm tired of always being like
responsible.
Yeah, give me some rope. I can F up. I need some space. We're doing it. You know, we're doing it. But sometimes you gotta be realistic about it. You know, it's just like with leadership. Pretty much anything that I deal with, Lab, you know that. President, this, board member, this, that, and that. But that come with it because when you go down that road, especially being like a leader, you gotta be okay with everybody ain't liking you.
Right.
Everybody ain't, you know.
With what you got going on.
You had to do some stuff to somebody close to you, fire a friend, demote somebody. But as long as you being consistent and fair, that's all thing you can ask for.
That's all thing you can do.
Yeah, but when you have a certain skill set, you gotta kind of, and that's one thing I even get with my children. When you a certain way, you gotta be okay with it because what'll happen is, if I know I'm a person that, you know, a lot of times be in leadership, I can't be complaining about folks ain't doing it right if they ain't got a capacity to do certain things.
Right.
So I can help them, give them advice. If they don't want it, I need to get my ass in charge. This shit ain't gonna work right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Well, I always tell you all the time. Well, why the hell every time I go to these little class functions? Well, what's up, 95? Why the hell Poochie always in charge? Why?
Right.
Because the shit get done right.
Right.
I mean, come on.
And this shit.
Yeah. So, but I'm saying, if somebody else want to do it, do it. Hit the keys. I don't want to drive. Shut the hell up. And that's how life is.
Right.
You know, people complain with it. Well, the mayor should do this, that, and that, but they don't understand that. But they'll never try to sit there and get in there. How many times do people will never be supervised at their job? They always complain about the supervisors, but they don't want to take that responsibility. They ain't got time for that to do that. And all kind of reasons why. Right. You welcome to say anything you want to say, but realistically, how far can it go?
You can tell me, you know, turn left, but if you're not driving.
Hey, that's how it is. The reality of everything. And one thing about it, raising adult children is a journey of mutual growth and adaptation. Open communication, respect for each other's boundaries, and the willingness to adapt to changing dynamics can help parents and their adult children build healthy, fulfilling relationships during the transitional phase. And again, I want to have this conversation with you guys tonight because, again, I've had my ups and downs with dealing with my children as they've gone and transitioned into adulthood. I know a lot of parents have had challenges, continue to have challenges now. So I'm not going to sit here and say, like, hey, I'm Cliff Huxtable, and everything went perfect with my kids or is perfect with them. And stuff like that, but I do think it's very important we have conversation like we had tonight to talk about it. So we had a good long conversation too. But so I really appreciate all you guys. Love you. Thanks for all the love and support. Remember, change your lives. Always by yours truly, Deonte Burden. Go to the YouTube channel, subscribe. If you came on the tail end of this conversation, go to the YouTube channel, subscribe, put something in the comments. Everybody knows I respond to all comments and questions and everything like that. So I will get back with you. But with that said, thanks for all the love and support. And make sure you tell people about the platform. Make sure you tell people about the platform. What we talk with, you know, I based everything off helping people because I wouldn't be where I'm at right now in life if people didn't help me. So definitely make sure you share the information about the platform. And also my other channel, Mr. Short Dollar, where we talk about personal finance, business, entrepreneurship, and investing. Got a lot of great information there, over 700 videos on that YouTube channel as well. So take care of yourself, guys. Best of luck, and I will talk with you soon. Love you, and peace.
Thank you.